My name is King Echo. This question is for you all West Cameroonians, French Cameroonians or East Cameroonians, Africans and to the rest of the world. Who is Barrister Nkongho Felix Agbor-Balla? Why am I even discussing about this guy called Barrister Nkongho Agbor? Before discussing about who is Barrister Nkongho Agbor, I would like to digress and talk about Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi of India, Nelson Mandela of South Africa. When you think of these three men, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, men from different parts of the world, but connected through justice and fought for freedom and true liberty. Martin Luther King Jr. was a minister and an activist who fought for civil rights for African Americans. Although till today, African Americans are still fighting for the civil rights as citizens of the United States. If you are against what I said, just check out what the total number of African Americans killed daily by the police. Gandhi of India, who used non-violent civil disobedience to fight against British-ruled India. Although the Indians of today are using violence towards Africans, especially Nigerians, the government of India is not doing anything to stop the killing of Africans. Don't forget about the great Nelson Mandela of South Africa, who fought against apartheid and spent 27 years of his life in prison. When I think of these three men, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela, I can see the fight for freedom and liberty. Barrister Nkongho Agbor of West Cameroon is no different from them. Barrister Nkongho Agbor is fighting for justice, freedom, and liberty for West Cameroonians, just like Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or Martin Luther King Jr., and using peaceful methods or a non-violent way. Let me give you the educational background of Barrister Nkongho Agbor of West Cameroon. He graduated from the University of Yaoundé with English private law. He attended Law School of Lagos, Nigeria. He has an international and European comparative law from the University of Brussels. He has an international human rights and humanitarian law from University of Notre Dame, USA. He also has a diploma in public international law from Holland and a diploma in theory and practice of conflict from the University of Germany. Barrister Nkongho Agbor is more than qualified to take the task of handling the conflict of West Cameroon and East Cameroon. From Martin Luther King Jr. to Gandhi to Nelson Mandela and even Barrister Nkongho are well knowledgeable and more than qualified to fight for justice and freedom for their people. It was the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who stated that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I am speaking directly to all West Cameroonians all over the world and at home. I demand all West Cameroonians to join Barrister Nkongho Agbor, who has been locked up for more than 90 days, with more than 300 West Cameroonians standing up for their basic rights as human beings in the country their ancestors fought and died for. It is time to make West Cameroon for all West Cameroonians. From the words of Martin Luther King Jr., let freedom ring, let freedom ring.